Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another review video. Now, a couple months back, played through the Marvel Avengers for PlayStation 4, that game that was released by Square Enix. And this game, Miles Morales, for PlayStation 4 and 5, is a very, very different experience than the game that we were playing through previously. Did I have fun playing through both games? Yes. But the big difference between the two of these games is, well, one of them just had a lot more purpose and polish to it. And that, of course, is Miles Morales. It's not a huge surprise. This game, it was already deemed to be very, very well done, coming off of the success of Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. And the things that made the original game so much fun and so entertaining are the exact same things that make this game so much fun as well. And not only do those mechanics remain, but they also are improved upon to make distinct differences between Peter Parker's version of Spider-Man and Miles Morales' version of Spider-Man. You really get a feel for both characters and how they're different when playing both of them. It's a ton of fun. It's involved, and honestly, it's a great experience all around. Now, that's not to say that Miles Morales is a perfect game, because there are a couple of things that perturbed me a little bit. One item in particular that was featured in the finale episode, which we put up on Tuesday, is there was a moment where there was a minor glitch where Miles kind of got stuck between a display plate and Finn in the flashback section of the memory that takes place there. Of course, a quick little reload of the last save point fixed that problem, but it wasn't necessarily fun to have to deal with because Finn didn't move and I was just kind of stuck where I needed to be, or in a place where I couldn't move to further the story. And that was certainly a little bit irritating. The only other real issue that I've had with it is a couple of the takedown animations. The takedown animations themselves are incredible and awesome, but sometimes the camera doesn't quite catch up with where you are. So you end up either looking right into some of the spray animations that take place from some of the perks that Miles can have applied to his suit, or you just kind of end up with your head clipped into a wall or another object within the area. That's not exactly my favorite thing to have or to experience when playing through. But all things aside, the game feels very, very well, and it works quite well as a successor to the original game. The other item, and this isn't necessarily a problem with the game that needed amending, but I do feel like the story quest was a lot less involved than the original story quest for the Peter Parker game. And the reasoning behind my thoughts on that is the content within that story is very good, it's emotionally driven, it's high octane, but with Spider-Man, I was playing for weeks on end, just exploring the city and finding every little nook and cranny and progressing through that story quest. And it honestly kind of felt like the game would never end. And then the 3 DLC expansion side quests furthered that experience. But Miles Morales, although it was a very intriguing storyline, it just kind of felt short. I don't want to say that it was a rushed game, because it does feel polished. It does feel like people worked very hard on it. And it is enjoyable. It left me wishing that there was more to experience from that main story quest. And the last kind of gripe that I have about the game is something that doesn't have a whole lot of bearing over this one, and kind of makes sense. But I wasn't a huge fan of the remapping that was done to Peter Parker's face. I think that having him feel a little bit older and more mature in his appearance in the original game was a step in the right direction. But understandably, there are people who prefer representations more akin to Tom Holland in his current portrayals of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I can't blame him. I really love what Tom Holland's doing with the character. So I can kind of understand some of the reasons why they transitioned back to a younger looking and feeling Peter Parker. But the fact of the matter is, these two characters are completely different. Yeah, they have the same power base and they're based off of the same character, but they're from two different points in time entirely. In the Spider-Man PlayStation 4, we're looking at a character that he's been out of high school, he's been working for a long time and has an internship with Otto Octavius, and the Tom Holland variation, he's still in the middle of high school and trying to fit in with, his peers within that realm. And that, it's just not, it doesn't feel super great to have the two of them painted a little bit closer together. And I know they haven't retroactively changed any aspects of that game, and I'm still looking forward to whatever progress comes out of this, because there's very clear allusions to there being another follow-up game in this chapter, probably, if not definitely, within Peter Parker's main experiences. But it honestly feels like it's going to be a long-standing series that has a ton of potential to do very, very well. And do I plan on playing that game when it comes out? Absolutely. Because, well, at the end of the day, not only do I love these games, but I love the Marvel Universe in general, which is the main reason that I've done a lot of content on that for the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 game for Switch, and starting to integrate some of these mobile games that I've played and had positive experiences with as well. So, do I think that this game, Miles Morales for PlayStation 5, do I think that it's worth your time? I do. I would recommend it. I would caution people to just be aware that it's not quite the same experience that one had with the original game. The story quest is significantly shorter, but it's still a fun and true successor to the original game that was put out. So I'm not going to drag this review on any longer. I've spoken about the things that I really enjoyed about it, but what do you think? Do you enjoy this game? Are there things that kind of irritate or bug you? Or do you have no complaints about it whatsoever? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like on today's video if you enjoyed this brief little overview of the game and what it has to offer without going into too many different spoilers for it. And as always, make sure you subscribe to ensure that you never miss one of the daily videos from the many games that we're playing through, as that's my commitment to bring that content to you every single day. But until then, thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.